there's a chance that if we've talked lately, I've let you know that I've loved you. And it's not that I don't love you, I do, but there's a chance that I said it unintentionally, maybe let it slip. I've been making a lot of phone calls, as we all have, and it's almost like second nature for me to end phone calls with the words, I love you. Because truth be told, in the world that we live in, up until about 7 weeks ago, the people who I really spoke to on the phone were my closest friends and family. And like most of you, when you talk to a loved one on the phone, we end the call with a quick, love you, and we hang up. And as I've been texting less and emailing less and calling more and speaking to many of you on the phone, because for me personally, I need to hear your voices. It's how I stay connected. There's a good chance that I ended that call with an I love you. Maybe it was second nature, maybe it was a slip up, maybe I meant it because I do. And it's hard when we can't see each other. It's hard when we can't be together. So I want you to know that it wasn't an accident. I meant it if I said it. And if I didn't say it, I'm saying it now. I miss seeing you. I miss being together. And I love you. It's a weird expression of our feelings. It's something that we feel when we have a close connection to somebody. But the idea of being commanded to love another, that's the idea that we find in our Torah reading this morning in the double portion, the double Parsha of Acharei Mot-Kedoshim. We find in Parashat Kedoshim what is the biblical golden rule. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. We find these words here in Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18. First, we're told, Lo tikom v'lo titor etz b'nei amecha, that you shouldn't take vengeance, you shouldn't bear a grudge, you shouldn't hate somebody in your heart. And then, v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, and you should love your neighbor as yourself. Rabbi Akiva actually taught that Zeh klal gadol b'Torah, that this is the most important rule, the most essential aspect of all of Torah, to love our neighbor. And Rabbi Akiva explains why it's such a fundamental rule, because everything really comes from it. If someone loves others, not just loves our neighbor, but loves others kamocha, as we love ourselves, or as we're meant to love ourselves, then we'll avoid hurting them or harming them. And actually, in some ways, we'll make sure that we're able to fulfill almost every other mitzvah, every other commandment and obligation. By observing this idea of v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, loving our neighbor as ourselves, we're fulfilling almost every other aspect of Torah. In fact, we find the famous story in Masechet Shabbat of when somebody challenged both Hillel and Shammai. Somebody went first to Rabbi Shammai and said, explain to me the entire Torah, al regel achad, while I'm standing on one foot. And if you do, the so-called Torah, I'll become Jewish. I'll become a religious Jew, an observance Jew. I'll commit to this covenant with God. And Shammai scoffs and sends him away, saying, on one foot, that's impossible. But when he comes to Rabbi Hillel and says, explain the entire Torah, we'll stand on one foot, Rabbi Hillel responds with the words, that which is hateful to you, do not do to another. The rest, that is the whole Torah. The rest is just commentary. Now go and learn it. Interestingly, Hillel doesn't say ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. He doesn't say love your neighbor as yourself. He doesn't offer the positive nature of this command. Instead, he offers it in a negative form. That which is hurtful, that which is harmful to you, don't do to another. But that's not really what the Torah is telling us. The Torah is giving us this active command to love each other. I love you, the Torah is telling us to say. This act of command specifically to love our neighbors, those nearest and dearest to us, those nearest geographically, in closest proximity, those who may be in the apartment right next to us, those who may be on our block or across the street, especially now. Last week, we announced our Bethel Neighborhood Initiative, with thanks to the hard work of our VP of Community, Rachel Wayner, and our community care committees. By now, you've all should have heard from your Bethel neighborhood captains, and I hope have all been in touch via email or phone calls to check in, to introduce each other. And as odd as it seems, because many of these people you may be meeting via email or phone call for the very first time, but really, this is our opportunity to say to each other, I love you. To say to our neighbors, I care about you. I'm concerned about you. I worry about you. Because now, more than ever before, this command, Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, matters. It's not just love every human being. The positive idea of that golden rule would bring peace to the world, would bring about Yemei HaMashiach, this messianic era, this messianic redemption. That would be beautiful. But we're specifically told, Ve'ahavta l'reacha, love your neighbor. Love those who are in closest proximity to us. The way we get through this uncertain time, we get through it by looking out for each other. That's really what our Bethel Neighborhood Initiative is all about. So looking after one another. It's caring for one another. It's telling each other, I love you. Let us love our neighbors. For right now, that's the most essential thing we can do. The rest is just commentary. So next time, if I end our phone call with the words, love you, it wasn't a slip. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't because I thought for a second I was talking to my parents or my cousin or my best friend. It was because I was talking to you. I hope you'll do the same, because that's what we all need right now. Sending you all lots of love and comfort and strength. And most of all, when we are scared and exhausted and stressed, when we don't know what to do, we send love. We love each other. We love our neighbors. And in turn, we love ourselves. Shabbat Shalom.